Hi, I'm Alec, a sales engineer here at Pixalate, the market-leading fraud protection, privacy, and compliance analytics platform for connected TV, mobile apps, and websites. I'm based in San Jose, California, and I've been with the company for 4 years. Today, I'm going to walk you through the background of the supply chain object and discuss how Pixalate utilizes this innovative technology for fraud detection and prevention. In this video, we'll go over defining SCO, or supply chain object, and by the end of this video, you'll know what an SCO looks like in real life, the difference between SCO validation and verification, and the involvement of cross-referencing ads.txt and sellers.json, how to utilize SCO verification for ad fraud detection and diagnosis, and validation and verification errors a user may come across that indicates problems with the supply chain and/or past data. Now let's get started with the basics. SCO stands for Supply Chain Object. It is an integral part of the OpenRTB designed by the IEEE Tech Lab to enhance transparency within ad supply chains. It is intended to work with ads.txt and seller.json, two other IEEE Tech Lab supply chain transparency standards. The supply chain object provides visibility into all intermediaries involved in the sale of a specific ad impression. It traces through a series of nodes, illustrating at all the sellers who receive payment for an individual bid request, utilizing data such as the seller's URL and publisher ID. Pixalate's SCO validation feature ensures the correct structure of the SCO, confirming its integrity by checking for correct nomenclature, version, and usage of symbols, as well as separators. The SCO verification feature is more complex and confirms the accuracy and legitimacy of the data within the chain itself. Pixalate does this by checking the relationships in the SCO with the public declarations by publishers in their ads.txt, as well as app ads.txt files, and by their sellers and their sellers.json files. The process of verification is challenging for a few reasons. First, complexity in crawling and maintaining the ads.txt and seller.json due to the scale and numerous tangled relationships in the ad tech industry. There are at least 20 million websites and apps with ads.txt, and each of these would need to be crawled. The relationships include publishers owning multiple domains and apps, publishers having direct relationships with sellers. Crawling seller.json is also complex, with the sellers changing names due to acquisitions and mergers, but not necessarily updating all the necessary declarations. Pixalate performs these checks at scale for millions of impressions. This post-bid analysis is comprehensive and cost-intensive. Pixalate performs these checks at bid request time, requiring extremely high performance and low latency to be feasible, useful, and to be able to make decisions, such that an ad can be delivered in time. Pixalate provides validation and verification error codes to help users identify various issues with the supply chain object. Validation errors include missing version. This refers to a submitted supply chain object not specifying a version, which is essential for determining the correct validation rules. From here, a user can update the supply chain object to include the ver field with the correct version information. Another error may be invalid node ID format. Users may encounter that format of a node is incorrect. With this information, check the node ID does or does not match the expected format as per the OpenRTB specification. On to verification errors. This would include direct seller or reseller not authorized. This error indicates the first seller in the SCO was not listed in the publisher's ads.txt or app ads.txt as a direct seller or reseller. It's important to ensure the first entity in the SCO is authorized as a seller in the relevant ads.txt or app ads.txt file. This information provides insight into whether a user may decide to block or no longer work with the given entity. Another error to encounter would be link in SCO missing in seller.json. This refers to a seller entry in a node on this SCO not matching the seller's JSON of the reseller on the next node. The entities on each node must be listed correctly with the seed ID in the relevant seller.json file. This error code allows a user to identify incorrect listings, and an update may be required. Per Pixalate's 2023 research, there is 65% higher ABT rate in supply paths that failed verification. Also, 25% of ad impressions in Q4 2023 failed validation at just the first node. To recap, Pixalate's new SCO validation and verification technology enables our partners to identify incomplete SCOs and improve structural quality, detect unauthorized sellers and resellers, combating ad arbitrage, uncover inaccurate chain relationships and potential spoofed impressions, address invalid SCOs and track where the ad fraud is originating, reducing invalid traffic by 64%. Our solution identifies key use cases, including assessing supply paths at scale with respect to data verification and structure validation, parsing out specific paths based on chain makeup, length, and completeness instead of blocking entire inventory sources, crawling ads.txt and seller.json at scale to map individual hops within the supply chain and to identify unauthorized sellers and partners for corrective action. In future videos, we'll walk through how to use Pixalate's analytics reporting tool, focusing on SCO verification and validation. We'll also cover available data points that can be surfaced via the API. With Pixalate's SCO verification and validation tools, you can secure your supply chain and work with trusted partners while reducing IVT and wasted ad spend. Decision-making can be applied at scale to secure the most optimal buying paths like never before. If you'd like to learn more, contact your dedicated sales representative today for further information.